My name is Lisa Congdon. I am a fine artist, an illustrator, and a writer, and I split my time between Portland, Oregon and Manzanita, Oregon. My art is really playful. It's colorful. Other people describe it as joyful, but I do think that I also make some art that's a little dark, maybe in ways that other people don't recognize. But I do love color. My work is very geometric, pretty graphic and flat. I use a lot of messages in my work. I'm really influenced by folk art, mid-century art and design, and by the outdoors, nature, botanicals, flora, fauna, that kind of thing. I didn't actually have any interest in art really until I was in my early 20s. Even then, it was because I was in a relationship with an artist and she sort of introduced me to all of these museums and artists in the world that she admired, and I was like, this stuff is really interesting, but I still never imagined that it was something I could do myself. And about 10 years later, decided to take some art classes. And, of course it was just for fun. I really loved it in a way that I had never loved any hobby I had ever taken up. Within a few years, I started a blog and I started sharing pictures of the stuff I was making. And the next thing I know, I was offered a little art show in a little shop in Seattle, and I opened an Etsy shop in like 2007, and I started this really small handmade business. I was about 40 by the time I left my job and decided to try to do this full time. I do think I have a great amount of appreciation for what I do because I spent so many years doing something else that I wasn't in love with. But I have no doubt that I have a different kind of gratitude because I lived this whole other life. One of my mantras is begin anyhow. And the reason that I love that phrase is it reminds us that we are never going to be totally ready to start something, and we can make a million excuses for why we don't want to begin something new, why we don't want to start, right? Like, I don't have the right supplies, I don't have the right studio space, I don't have the right skill. We will forever come up with excuses why we don't want to do this thing that we fantasize about being good at or fantasize about just doing. And I find myself in that situation a lot, but I think one kind of superpower that I have is that I am really good at pushing through discomfort and beginning something even when I don't feel like I'm ready. So I just really encourage people to sort of embrace the fear and know that there is no perfect moment to begin anything. You don't need to get in shape before you go to the gym. You go to the gym to get in shape. So just go to the gym and start, right? And the same is true for any creative endeavor, or starting your own business. You have to start somewhere. Oftentimes it's just taking the first few steps is the most important part. And then once you get into it, you can sort of make the rest of it happen. And beginning is excruciatingly hard. And there's never a perfect time, but you got to do it anyhow.